All right, today we're going to talk about a seriously powerful tool that you might already have and not even be using. It's called Hyper-V Replica. And trust me, it's not just another line item feature in Windows Server. It's a genuine built-in lifeline for your business when things go wrong.
So let me just ask you this. Picture your most critical server. The one that absolutely cannot go down. Now imagine it just fails. Poof, no warning. What happens in that next minute? For a lot of businesses, that's it. Everything stops. It's instant chaos, lost money, and this frantic scramble to get things back online.
Because, that downtime isn't just an inconvenience. Every single minute that clicks by doesn't just cost you money, it chips away at your customers' trust. It can bring your whole operation to a dead stop. So yeah, this isn't some minor headache we're talking about, it's a fundamental risk to your business.
But what if the solution wasn't some ridiculously expensive piece of software you have to go buy? What if a powerful disaster recovery tool was already sitting there, built right into the Windows Server you use every day? Well, let's take a look at this built-in lifeline.
The idea is actually beautiful in its simplicity. Hyper-V Replica does exactly what it sounds like. It creates a live, standby copy, a replica, of your most important virtual machine on a completely separate server. It's just sitting there, ready to take over at a moment's notice.
And look, we're not talking about those complex multi-million-dollar setups. Hyper-V Replica is specifically designed to give you robust disaster recovery without needing all that expensive, dedicated storage hardware. It really levels the playing field, It makes real business continuity something that organizations of any size can actually achieve.
Okay, so how does it actually keep that standby copy perfectly in sync and ready for action? The whole process is both elegant and really efficient. Let's break down how it works.
It really boils down to 3 key steps. First, it's always watching the primary server. Second, it sends over any changes that happen. And third, it updates the replica VM. Simple as that. So let's dig into that first step, the monitoring.
This is where the magic happens. Instead of trying to copy the entire virtual machine over and over, which would be insane, right? Hyper-V Replica is smart. It only tracks the specific little blocks of data that have changed. Then it bundles up just those changes and sends only them across the network. Super efficient.
So how often does this happen? Well, that's up to you. You can configure it to send those updates as often as every 30 seconds, or you can stretch it out to every 15 minutes. This means your replica server is almost always perfectly in sync. So if you do have to fail over, you lose an absolute minimum of data. We're talking seconds, not hours.
Now, having a replica is great, but activating it when you need it, that's the critical part. So let's explore the flexible failover options that get you ready for pretty much anything.
You've basically got 2 ways to handle this. For routine stuff like system maintenance, you can do a planned failover. You gracefully switch to the replica, do your work on the main server, and switch back with 0 data loss. But for a real emergency, like the power goes out or the server just dies, you use an unplanned failover. That'll bring your replica online in minutes to recover from that sudden outage.
And the resilience here has multiple layers. You can replicate to a server in the next room, or one across town, or even in another city for true geographic redundancy. All that traffic between them is encrypted for security, of course, and it even integrates with Azure Arc, which means it fits right into a modern hybrid cloud strategy.
This all sounds fantastic, but I know what you're thinking. What does it actually take to set this up? Is it a huge pain? Let's look at the requirements, and you can decide if it's the right fit.
Honestly, the core requirements are unbelievably simple. You just need 2 or more servers that can run Hyper-V and a stable network connection between them. That's really it. No specialized storage, no complex hardware. If you're already running Windows Server with the Hyper-V role, you're pretty much all the way there. And that flexibility extends to your whole setup. You can replicate from one standalone server to another. You can go from a big failover cluster to another cluster. You can even replicate from a single standalone server to a cluster. It's really designed to just adapt to whatever you've already got in place.
So who is this for, really? Well, it's the perfect fit for any business that takes uptime seriously but doesn't have an unlimited budget for dedicated replication hardware. It gives you that enterprise-grade resilience, but in a really cost-effective integrated package.
And this brings us to the final and I think most crucial point. Tools like Hyper-V Replica really shift your whole mindset. You move away from just disaster recovery and you start thinking about proactive resilience. It's about designing a system that just anticipates failure. So the question isn't just, are you prepared for disaster? It's, is your entire business architected for resilience?